Well, final preparations are underway now to bring you the best of the day's sporting action. In just a couple of minutes, Grandstand has on offer cricket from Australia, motor racing from Thruxton, boxing from the Royal Albert Hall, racing from Cheltenham, and from the Wembley Arena, international tennis. First of all, though, with what the weather has on offer today, here's Michael Fish.
Good afternoon to you. Well, at least it was fine and sunny for the Lord Mayor's show today here in London. It might have been a little bit cold, but they were certainly very lucky, because in other parts of the country it's far from fine and sunny, because already you've had a fair number of pretty hefty showers. There's been some hail and thunder and even some sleet and snow, and it does look as if the weather's going to stay pretty unsettled in the next few days, and if anything a little bit on the cold side. At the moment we have a run of northwesterly winds coming right across the country, and they're bringing a mixture of sunshine and showers to many places, and the winds are pretty chilly, so some of those showers are turning out wintry, as I said. And incidentally, do bear in mind that if you have planned to go walking in the hills at all this weekend, that the weather has turned very wintry, and I think especially over the Snowdonia and the Scottish hills, before the weekend's out, there may well have been a good deal of snow and some strong winds to go with it, so not really ideal weather for that sort of activity. I think too, in the next 24 hours we're going to see something of a change. That area of low pressure that had moved away from us is going to be sinking very slowly back towards us, and that means it'll be tightening up these isobars and bringing very windy weather indeed back to many northern parts. And throughout today and much of tomorrow, it's going to be responsible for keeping the cold, showery weather going in all parts of the country. A little bit of an area of low pressure and some fronts out to the west, but I don't think they'll do more than just enhance the showers as that runs through later tonight and during the course of tomorrow. But way out to the west, over Labrador, there is another area of low pressure developing, and that's going to deepen into quite a nasty, vicious area of low pressure as that eventually comes across the Atlantic in a day or two's time and bringing a spell of quite stormy weather. But of course, that's a long way off, and I'll be talking about that later in the weekend. Let's put some detail on today now for you, and for most parts of the country really in the same boat. In other words, a mixture of sunshine and showers. But having said that, I think in many central and eastern parts at the moment, especially central and eastern parts of England, it is dry and it's reasonably bright with a fair bit of sunshine, as you've just seen from London. But all the time the cloud will be bubbling up, and I think before the day's out, many of those eastern parts will have joined in and had a shower or two, and one or two of them turning out to be on the heavy side. But certainly in the west and north you'll run into a good deal of showery weather, and many of those showers there, heavy, bit of hail, bit of thunder, bit of sleet, bit of snow, almost anything coming out of them, although most of the wintry ones will be on the hills from about North Wales northwards. And of course a fairly cold afternoon, a fairly stiffish northwesterly breeze, 7 or 8 degrees centigrade, the mid-40s Fahrenheit, 10 centigrade further south, being around the 50 mark. Not very much changing as far as this evening and tonight's concerned, although the showers that have developed in the more eastern parts should tend to die away. But in the north and west you'll have a fair number of showers keeping going right throughout the night, and with the wind picking up as well, it'll be quite a nasty night, I think you'll find, over the hills there in Scotland and North Wales, and you may well find some wintry showers even cropping up as far south as the moors of the West Country. And another feature of the night, of course, being cold, a frost around in many places, so do take care and watch out for some icy patches on the roads.
Well, in a couple of minutes, of course, there's our grandstand, and there's a whole lineup of sport coming your way. Introduced today by Desmond Lynham, there's football focus, there's racing from Cheltenham, and there's motor racing. It's the Formula 3 race from Thruxton. And at 2:50, that's approximately 2:50 during grandstand, there's boxing from the Royal Albert Hall. There will be highlights of the Barrett Mickey Duff promotion in London this week, featuring Clinton Mackenzie, and your commentator, of course, as always on such occasions, is Harry Carpenter. And then at around about 3:15, they turn to international tennis. That's coming from the Wembley Arena, the Benson & Hedges Championships, semi-final day in this leading European tournament, with a prize for tomorrow's winner of nearly £22,000. And although John McEnroe failed to win last year's heated final, he's very much the favourite this year. And your commentators for that event are John Barrett and Mark Cox. And then at 3:55, the event that all cricket fans have been waiting for will be the test match from Perth between Australia and England. Highlights of the second day's play by satellite from Western Australia. Well, that's a whole afternoon of lineup coming your way in about 30 seconds from now in grandstand, and that'll be starting, as I say, in about 30 seconds. Well, this is BBC1, and now it is 12:15, and time to join Desmond Lynham for Grandstand.